in Bukit Timah JRC. That means 40% of the residents there gave us their trust, gave us their vote of confidence. And so many people came up to us and shook our hands and told us that their hearts are with us, that I'm actually very encouraged by that. More importantly, everyone that I've met here at SDP has been a great inspiration to me. I find all of you very inspiring, very amazing, and all of you have come forward to volunteer so much of yourselves and your time. And the way I've got through this is I think of myself as your voice and just the face and the voice for all of you, all of your hearts.
All right, Michelle Lee from the SDP speaking there.
And now let's go to the 3rd Assembly Centre for PAP supporters. It's at Jurong West, and Glenda Chong has the latest. Glenda.
Now, supporters here have proven once again that the western part of the island belongs to the People's Action Party, where they have voted for them to serve them in Parliament for the next 5 years. And the 4 single-member constituencies are Yu Hua, Hong Kah, Pioneer, Bukit Panjang, all belonging to the PAP. And for the group representation constituencies, they are Sembawang, West Coast, Choa Chu Kang, Jurong, and of course Holland Bukit Timah. Now, Holland Bukit Timah was the other keenly watched GRC, and earlier I spoke to Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan, and he said that he's relieved but that the PAP also needs to listen more to the people on the ground. Back to you in studio.
Glenda Chong reporting live there out of Jurong West Stadium. Now, Mr. Sito Ipin, the winner at Potong Pasir, the man who managed to get Potong Pasir ward back for the PAP after 27 years in opposition hands, has given his victory speech. Let's have a listen to what he's got to say.
My dear voters of Potong Pasir, I'd like to start off by thanking Mr. Chiam See Tong for the 27 years of dedicated service that he has given to Potong Pasir. I also like to thank Mrs. Chiam for giving me a fair contest during these elections. On this note, I wish both Mr. and Mrs. Chiam good health and happiness in their lives. And now, most importantly, I want to thank the more than 50% of voters who voted for us during this election. Thank you very much. This is not a destination. This is the beginning of a new journey for Potong Pasir. I promise you we will fulfill every single promise that we made to you. I will not let you down. I also want to...
Well, even though the PAP has managed to get Potong Pasir SMC back into its wings, under its wings, there's still a possibility we might see an SPP MP in Parliament.
That's right,
or rather, NCMP.
That's right, through the NCMP route, because Lena Low apparently is the best performing among the losing opposition candidates. Well, she has a very slim margin compared to Sito Ipin. She just got 49.64%, but she tops the pile for the best losers. And if you look at the Workers' Party, there's also Joo Chiat that we have to look at.
Well, you might remember that the constitutional changes made in 2009 allows now for 9 opposition MPs. Take away those elected, 6 this time round. There are 3 seats. So 1 possibly to SPP for Potong Pasir, 1 to Workers' Party for Joo Chiat, and possibly, well, 1 from Workers' Party is East Coast GRC team. So we'll talk a bit more about that a little after the break. So time now for a break. We'll be back soon.
Welcome back. Well, we're looking at landmark results in Singapore's general election 2011. An opposition party has won a GRC for the first time. while the PAP has lost 2 ministers.
Now, nationally, the PAP share of the total valid votes is 60.14%, down from the 66.6% it garnered in 2006.
The Workers' Party's strategy of putting its top guns in Aljunied GRC paid off. It saw party chief Lau Tia Kiang leaving his Hougang single ward after 20 years to contest in the constituency.
Now, the party took 54.71% of the votes against the PAP's 45.29%. The result means the Foreign Minister George Yeo and Minister in the Prime Minister's Office and Second Minister for Finance and Transport, Mrs. Lim Pui Hua, lose their cabinet positions.
And Mr. Lau says the Workers' Party has made history and its supporters' courage has made a breakthrough for future generations.
Well, the Workers' Party is the top performer among the opposition parties in this election. Yaw Shin Leong retained Hougang for the party. So this means the Workers' Party will have 6 seats in Parliament, the best showing by the opposition since independence.
The Singapore People's Party has lost Potong Pasir by the slimmest of margins. Lina Low polled 49.64% against the PAP's Sito Yipin, who had 50.36%, and the margin of difference was 114 votes, or some 0.72%.
Well, that's the smallest margin in an election, was 0.66% when the PAP was re-elected to Eunos GRC in 1988. The result puts Lina Low in the running for a non-constituency MP seat, one of 3 in the next parliament.
Potong Pasir had been the stronghold of her husband, Chiam See Tong, but in this election, he ran in a GRC instead, and he led a team from the SPP to 43.06% of the votes in Bishan Toa Payoh constituency against the PAP team led by Deputy Prime Minister Wong Kan Seng.
The loss ends Mr. Chiam's 27-year parliamentary career as Singapore's longest-serving opposition MP.
Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong's PAP team has retained Ang Mo Kio GRC with an improved margin of 3 percentage points. The team won 69.33% of votes against a Reform Party team.
And the first election in 19 years for Marine Parade GRC has been won by the PAP. The team, led by Senior Minister Goh Chok Tong, received 56.65% of the votes against the National Solidarity Party.
Well, now that we have a complete picture of General Election 2011, it's time to check out what the netizens are saying on the internet. So for that, let's go over to May Wong.
Dom and Mel, this election has certainly thrown up happiness as well as disappointments, and that was all articulated by the netizens in cyberspace. Some of the comments that they talked about, well, clearly really looked after, the areas that they were looking after were Potong Pasir. They said that it was just so close to call, simply because there were only hundreds of votes separating the win between the People's Action Party and the Singapore People's Party. Moving on to another tweet that we have, Workers' Party, do your best in Aljunied. We now already know that the Workers' Party has gained the seats over in Aljunied GRC, and they have won against the People's Action Party in that particular GRC. Another tweet that we have, I really respect Mr. Lau Tia Kiang, awesome winning speech, and that is for the Workers' Party leader over at Aljunied GRC. And finally, one last tweet that we have for you, Giorgio, proud to say that he's the senior. He's got humanity, humility, honesty, as well as the fact that he was unfortunately a good minister to lose. So a lot of talk in the social media platform, simply because this year this election is considered the social media election, and ultimately whether or not this is going to carry forth in terms of how the politicians are going to continue to engage the young voters and engage the Singaporeans via social media, as well as how the social media is going to help shape policies in the future for Singapore, is something to watch for.
May Wong reporting live there from our nerve centre, so-called, of tonight's coverage, our operations hub. And I think it's time now for us to give an overview to our Malay-speaking viewers, and for that we go over to Othman Buhari.
Thank you, Melissa. Saudara, sebelum kita berhenti berehat tadi, kita telah menerima keputusan terakhir untuk pilihan raya kali ini, iaitu di kawasan undi perseorangan Potong Pasir. Selepas 27 tahun, PEP telah berjaya merampas semula kubu kuat pembangkang di Potong Pasir. Calon PAP Sitoh Yee Pin telah memperolehi 50.36% undi mengalahkan calon SPP Lina Low yang meraih 49.64% undi. Itu dia satu kemenangan yang sangat tipis bagi Encik Sitoh Yee Pin, iaitu dari segi kelebihan undi hanya 114